But I got a 40-minute drive still.
Federal Prison Talk, we're live. We're talking to Anthony in Massachusetts. I got a buddy here that I did time with 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it is, and we're still friends. So we both have lives today. We're trying to convince Anthony he will still have a life. Anthony, you want to say hello to people out there? Let them know what's going on with you.
Hi, everybody.
Coming up.
How is everybody? Hopefully everyone's well. Just here to share anything I can with my journey so far. In December, I was arrested and charged with wire fraud, and then they slapped a tax evasion charge on afterwards because I didn't claim the embezzled money. So
we forgot to do. We always forget that part, don't we?
Yeah. So, I'm in pretrial now. It's been about 4.5 months, and I'm waiting for my sentencing come May 23rd. So it's been a journey. It's been a living hell for the last 4.5 months, but hopefully I'll have some type of good outcome and put this behind me. Yeah.
And your wife and kids, I know you got 4 kids, you got a wife, you got a family you're leaving behind because of what you did, and it's hard to swallow sometimes, but Anthony has manned up to that, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I've come to the realization that I put myself in the position. I need to make better choices, and there's a lot more important things than money and materialistic things. And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to show weakness. And I've always been a person to not show weakness and just figure out things on my own. And that's not how you go about life, and you get yourself in some sticky situations sometimes doing that.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
And the family, have they been pretty receptive to what's going to materialize?
Yeah. So my son was really pissed off at first. My wife and I had talked, and she kind of knew a little bit of this was coming because I knew before I got hit with it, something was going on. Is she angry? Yeah, she's angry, but she's been pretty much supportive. My daughters and things like that, they're okay. My stepson has been really, really supportive. He calls and checks on me all the time. So yeah, I
That's cool, right?
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say names.
No, that's okay. No, yeah, they've been pretty supportive. It's just, basically it's the worst part is the unknown fear. I'm sure everybody else knows, and everybody says to you, yeah, don't worry, it'll be over with, but they're not the ones going through it. So
the question is that I have for you too, though, is and your the income and everything, you're gonna be able to, that was a big, huge thing for me with leaving the family behind and everything, the sustainability.
Yeah, my wife's gonna pay, the mortgage, I believe, and my son's gonna help out, and hopefully when I get out, I'll be able to find a job at some point and get back to contributing. I don't have a ton of bills right now. I've let a couple things go because it was just either pay for this or pay for that. So I had to make some decisions with that. But, I think I'll be okay there.
It's going to hit them harder when the day this happens, and it's going to hit you. Maybe 3 days later, it hits them even harder because you haven't come home, and it's been 3 days now. Is he coming home? It's almost like, it's hard on everyone, man.
Yeah.
They say that it's not just the individual that does the time; it's the family too. So
yeah, and I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that now.
The stress and the. I went, and when I went, I went married, and they came out divorced. So, how's your relationship with your wife?
It's good. It's fairly strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, I think if it was 5 years or so, it might be a different story, to be honest with you. But I don't think I'm looking at very much time. I think we'll be good.
Has Sean explained to you how the restitution works inside?
A little bit.
I have not. No, because they'll take money out of what goes on your books.
So my advice to you.
Hey, Blues Clues and hey, Harris, we'll get you guys.
My advice to you is a slow and steady stream of money, not a big chunk. Because whatever you get, they're going to garnish it because now you owe money. And so get used to eating dog food because basically that's what the cafeteria food is. You'll get some commissary,
not that bad.
I don't know. I don't know what this guy's smoking, dude. but it's crap. But at the end of the day, you adjust to it. But my whole thing is about the restitution, because I was stuck with a $47,000 bill based on my charge, which is I used to work for the government, and I used my position as a government employee, and I got tacked with 3 counts of the Hobbs Act, and that's basically a fancy word for extortion. And at the end of the day, $47,000 bill, and I went in with like $1,200. I didn't get it all at one time, but I went in with like $200, and then family and friends zapped me money. And then that first month, I showed an income of like $1,200, and now I had a $300 bill per month, which is is what I had to pay the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons. And if I wasn't current with my bill going into BOP, you won't have this problem. But they threatened you with basically the government threatened you with extortion of, you might not be able to get into RDAP because you are not currently.
Yeah, and that's where you're off the cents. I had $1,100 saved up because I was getting 100 sent to me every month, and it took it all, left me $89. Oh, I remember that day.
So you know what I mean. So
and that's why you're in prison. You know,
family and friends, just keep it to $20 to $40 once a month. You know what I mean, and the less is the better. I know it sucks, dude, but you don't need all that fatty shit in there anyways. It's Doritos and Cokes and crap.
Yeah. So what should I tell them to send me?
I would try and keep it to $50 a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. You're going to get a little money. They're going to give you a job. It ain't going to be much, 20, 30, $40 a month. But
so how do you buy things?
With that $50 a month that you would cost. So you're going to probably go to a camp. I don't know what the currency in there. At the camp in Colorado where we were at, it was meat packs. So if you wanted to buy, you would get a pack of tuna, and that was $1.50. And do you smoke?
No.
Good, because they're expensive in there. Stay away from that, because that's a good way to get beat up in the bathrooms if you run up a bill with the people who smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, like 4 figures.
You don't pay your bill in there. I mean, at a camp, you and I, you probably have this perception of what prison is. At the end of the day, it's a camp. Is that where you're probably going to low level?
Oh, he's going to camp. I did his evaluation.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Camp
he's got like
easy.
3 points. He's
you fly under the radar, stick to yourself. You know what I mean? At our camp, there was the Paisas, which is Mexican. Then there's the whites, the blacks, and then you have some other stray group, which is the Texas room, where they're kind of weird. And then there's the geeks and freaks, and that's where I hung out with the people in the chapel and this weirdo right next to me. And you know what I mean? And
I guess I'll take him off this one here.
And you know what? You just stay in your own lane. You're gonna hear that a lot. Stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
And fly under the radar. You'll be cool. You know what I mean? And watch out for the phones. They record everything on the phones, and they're gonna extort you on the phone with phone minutes. And so you know what I mean? Get a local number. There's this thing called Pigeon Fly.
It's free now. You get 500 free minutes.
What?
It's been that way. They haven't stopped it yet.
Why, in prison?
Yeah, you get 500 free minutes to call out from their payphone.
It wasn't like that with me.
I know they charged us, but they don't have to do all that anymore.
I got extorted, man. My ex-wife had to get a Colorado number, and it was like a 3-way Google Voice, but it worked because the Bureau of Prisons, they're shady.
Well, Telecom or whatever it is getting sued and shut down because they were overcharging and raping people, basically. So, and plus the pandemic, so now they get 500 free minutes. I don't know how long that's going to last.
500
to call home, and once you talk for 15 minutes, so the phone hangs up on you. You got to wait an hour.
Oh yeah, you got to wait an hour and spread shit. If you got 500 minutes, Anthony, divide that by 30 days. That's 16 minutes a night you get with your family.
And you get a call a day. Hey, Blues is asking, what are you facing? And,
as far as charges or as far as time?
It's about time. And then Harris wants to know what's the total amount. I don't know if he's meaning restitution.
The restitution was somewhere about $400,000.
I think that's about. Go on. I'm trying to remember the. I have a chart that tells you how much money, how much time you're going to do. Did they give me a number like 16?
I think I was a 17 after everything was considered.
Okay, and then to probably get a 2-point reduction, accountability and stuff. Yeah, it's like in a year and a day.
What's your well, you haven't sentenced him yet. I was gonna say
May 23rd, man.
No, what's the thing I was talking about? Oh,
downward departure?
The afterwards, but he doesn't know. It's supervised release. That's what it's
saying. Supervised release.
He doesn't know about it yet. Though. That's why.
Yeah, that's your probation time.
That's the post incarceration. It wasn't that bad. I just finished mine in January. I did 3 years.
Yeah.
So, of supervised probation, and it went from they were on me every month with the UAs, and then the last year I had one. Not that I was doing drugs, but they had pretty much kicked me. And the only thing they were really focusing on was that restitution payment on the 15th of the month every month, because they're definitely. Well, your judgment and commitment, he doesn't have that yet, does he?
He doesn't have that yet. That'll be under his. You'll have a special condition.
You get used to the term J&C, your judgment and commitment. You'll have to learn that really good.
Yeah.
When I was facing my sentencing date, I could care less about halfway house and all that probation shit. Let me get to prison first.
That'll become more important to you as you head to it. But focus to all these details, because it's going to be important when you get out. Because now you're going to have to get a job. Are you educated?
Yeah, I mean, I got a diploma. I've been a retail manager for years. And
are you college educated?
I did some, but I didn't graduate.
All right, yeah.
Hey, that was me, and the city just hired me. So
you'll be okay.
Don't let that stop.
Yeah, it's not a big thing, but it could have played into your sentencing, because I had 2 college degrees, and what do you call it?
Sometimes they punish you more because you're supposed to be smart enough to know better.
They did throw the book at me a little bit harder, because they told me the public officials need to be held to a higher standard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was a public official.
Shut up.
Now look at him.
Yeah.
Hanging out my house.
Hanging out with this guy. It's kind of shady still.
I guess the prosecutor agreed to go on the low end of the guidelines. My lawyer said also, so we'll see with that.
Yeah, that could go both ways on you, though. Yeah, I was looking at 5 years, and they still gave me 46, so not too bad.
Brian wants to know where you're going. He doesn't know, but he's going to ask for. He was going to ask for Otisville. Brian's the guy who told me they just closed Otisville.
Yeah, it's either that, or I was going to ask for. There's a place in New Hampshire, Berlin, which is a camp. So,
I have heard of Berlin. It's not too bad, I don't think.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask for that too. So that's like 2 hours from my house. So we'll see. They can do what they want.
Try and keep it cool so you can get the visits.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Blues Clues said, "What do you mean? What's that word? Extort the phone? Extort the phone?"
Oh, okay. Blues Clues. What I mean is they were extorting the phone. So, because prior to the pandemic, the BOP charges it's a ridiculous amount of money to add minutes to your account. So we would have to use this thing called Pigeon Fly, which was because I was in New Mexico and my family was in New Mexico and I was in Colorado. We had to get a Colorado number so it wouldn't be long distance, so it wouldn't rip through all my money that I put on my phone line to be able to call. It was something like 33 cents a minute through the in-house.
In other words, they'll charge you $2 to make a phone call anywhere unless it was local. So you get a service that gives you a local number. Yeah,
so it was, you know what I mean? And then they sent me to prison for extortion, but they do it through the phone line.
But now the phone calls are free.
For now.
Yeah, they may have stopped it, but I haven't heard yet. I think there was talk about it. Brian says Danbury. I've heard of that one too. Danbury might help too. So I
think that's a law, though. I believe.
Could be.
And I think they have a camp, but from what I understand, the camp is women's. From what I understand, but I might be wrong.
But when you do get on sentencing day, also have be prepared to request where you want to go right after he sentences you or she sentences you.
Yeah.
Because she can start that designation process right there.
Yeah, that's what I did. I asked my attorney, and my attorney asked the judge, and mine was the Honorable Martha Vasquez, who was appointed by Clinton. So I researched all my judge and her whole thing, and she was very liberal again. But at the end of the day, she was cool. She let me have that one thing. Can I go to Colorado? And she asked the prosecution. The prosecution didn't even really care.
That's one of the few things the judge can do on sentencing day. They're going to recommend RDAP, and that's a joke when people come, "But my judge recommended RDAP."
And for the record, I'm on the thing. Danbury has
he says 2 camps.
Male and female offenders, and there's a camp, but we don't know if it's a female camp.
Right. Yeah, Brian says there's 2 camps. I didn't know that. I'll have to look.
Sheridan, Oregon has 2 camps too, but they're both for men. So
well, if you could get to the Danbury, that place looks pretty swanky. Just on the thing, not that it isn't swanky, but
it's weird because it's funny that Brian said that. Everything that I saw said it was a woman's camp, and then the law was men's, but that's weird.
Harris is asking for details now, Anthony. What really happened?
So my charge was wire fraud. Basically, I was paying a bunch of employees that worked there and some of them that didn't some wages, and we would split the money. That's basically what it was.
Is that enough for you, Harris? Because he hasn't been sentenced yet. Go easy on the guy. I'm grateful you came on to talk, Anthony. But last thing we want to do is add more, anything.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is off of Google, Anthony. Yes, Federal Corrections Institute, FCI Danbury, in Danbury, Connecticut, has a satellite camp that houses minimum security female inmates.
It's female? Yeah, thought so.
Berlin, though, that might be that. I would always Morgantown if you can get in there. That's Pennsylvania. It's a little further away.
Yeah,
that's good for visits, but it was the number 2 camp as far as club fed kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then again, you don't want to piss your family off. They come to visit you, and he's playing tennis right now, and he's going to cancel his. You know what I mean. You don't want to live too good.
No,
keep your family.
My family got pissed off. They're like, "Oh, you get to go just chill out and hang out at the freaking prison all day and do shit," and it does come back. That's
what I mean.
My ex would be like, "You're getting to chill out all day."
Large and stuff. I'm here trying to put food on the table, do everything you did, raise the kids, 2 jobs. I just got fired from one. You found out my husband went to prison. I got the neighbors smirking at me everywhere I go. The kids are getting teased at school. Oh, your father went to prison.
Hey,
and you're
listening to my phone calls. You were listening to my phone calls.
But you know what I mean? And you're living it up large. So
Yeah. So we'll just keep praying. That's all I can do.
You could pray. And have you thought any more about talking on Sensitive Day or not talking?
I think I'm going to. I think I'll speak from the heart. The thing is, you get so emotional, if you have, I feel if you have true remorse, you get emotional, and there's nothing that's going to stop the waterworks. I'm not really a crier, but with this situation, I've cried more than I ever have.
This is the most important day of your life, man. You are allowed to cry on this day.
Let me tell you something, Anthony. I've learned in this whole journey, questions are free. You know what I mean? All you can do is to say, Your Honor, and I spoke on my sentence today. I was like, I'm sorry to the taxpayers of the state of New Mexico, because that was the victims for the most part. But at the end of the day, I really apologize to my family who I'm going to leave behind. I just beg the court to have leniency. I mean, I was a first-time offender, no record, no history of anything, and then she slammed that, what's it called?
Gavel,
46 months. I was like, damn.
So you got 46 months, and what were your guidelines?
I don't remember any of that. But
were you expecting more time or less time?
No, that was kind of like the you know what I mean. I was gonna fight it, but then my lawyer was pretty she was pretty savvy in the way she presented it to me. She's like, "You want to fight it?" Because I had the money at the time, and I was like, the way I looked at it, I was like, I could fight it, but then when my attorney was like, you got 3 options, you could fight it. And then she showed me 3 pieces of paperwork, and one said Larry Mendoza. The United States versus Japan, United States versus Germany, and then the United States versus Larry Mendoza.
Oh,
I was like, she's like, they will go after you with everything, and you'll end up doing 10 to 20 years, or you could sign the plea at 46. I was like,
she was showing you
I was like, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like I did is all I could request was the leniency of the court, and I was hoping that she was going to give me leniency, but at the end of the day, like I told you, She was like, "You're a public official. You need to be held to a higher standard." So they gave me the 46 months, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But then again, everything happened the way it did. You know what I mean? I thank God first and foremost. And then Trump did the whole what was it called?
First Step Act.
First Step Act. And then with the First Step Act, non-violent first time offenders, and then COVID hit, and then they were letting out everybody. And from 46 months, I should have done 29. I should have done another 10 or 11 months, but they were letting people out, and I did 597 days, 19 months and 2 weeks is what it boiled out to.
Oh, you got out early. That's good.
Oh, I got out way early, so I was very blessed. So
got a question for you, Anthony, from Harris. He says, "How did they find out?"
You know, somebody wrote a letter and sent it to the corporate headquarters, which we don't know. I don't know. I really don't care.
We had probably an employee, what they call whistleblower, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, something like that. And you know, I was terminated, and then about a year went by, nothing happened, and then I found out that they had hired some lawyers to do some forensic accounting, and the lawyers must have turned it over to the FBI. So this has been going on since 2021. So you figure it's been a 3-year ordeal that I've had this on my shoulders. So it's just been so freaking stressful.
So it's been more than the 6 months or 4.5 months. It's been 3 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that answers Brian's question here. How long your pretrial?
So I was. It's funny. I worked for 2 other places. After this, I was store manager for 2 other places, and they got me going into work on December 6th, like 8 FBI agents. I thought it was weird. There was 2 cars parked in the parking lot of my place of employment. They both had tinted windows. I got my Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, walked around the building, and 8 of them swarmed me, put me in shackles, and that was it. I'm not a wimp, but that was just overwhelming. I will say the FBI agents, they were very nice to me. They were, respectful. They weren't jerks. They had the cuffs on, too tight. They loosened them. And shackles.
Really? And shackles.
They took my shoelaces off my shoes. It was nuts. But so I've been on pretrial since December 6th.
So did they take you in and then you got out on a bond, or how
yeah, they took me in. I sat in a cell for about an hour. They brought me in. They fingerprinted me. Tattoos, tricky tattoos. They did a DNA swab. Brought me up to the courtroom, and they let me out on a bond. I think it was.
You were already indicted then, because when they raided my house, they just told me not to leave town.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I got indicted a year later after they raided me, but I still never had to go get shackled or nothing, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah, so that's been that's the lot. I mean, that's just eating at that vision that you just painted. That's a tough
I got to tell you, Sean. I'm like I said, I'm not a wuss, but I didn't come out of my house for like 3 or 4 weeks. I had some severe PTSD with it. Like 8 people just jumping at you. It was nuts. Like it was just nuts.
Yeah. Did neighbors see all this stuff?
No, it was where I worked was it's in a commercial parking lot. So I went in early that day, fortunately. So they were waiting for me. Yeah.
They came to my house, and probably 30 black SUVs from the Treasury Department. Nobody had a place to park. All the neighbors, I remember they were parking in the middle of the street, pointing up at the house, and this is what I could see through my little garage window where they kept me, stationed while they searched the house. But yeah, man, everybody on the block. I didn't come out of my house like that either. I waited for the nighttime and sneak out. But I remember, man, it's
wow. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Oh, I got another question from here. Sean, I've been charged and I'm just waiting right now. I am at 19 points that they are asking for 36 months. Do you think I can know? You can't go back and forth. You're going to get one deal. If you don't take that one deal, you get the maximum. So, yes, you can negotiate right now. 19 points. I don't have my chart with me, but You can negotiate, but they don't come back and forth with deals. That back and forth, the way you say back and forth, that's not feds. That's state.
A lot of times too, Sean, they end up throwing something else on you when they make a deal with you. Then they'll come and slap you with another charge.
Oh, they can come back, but you can't go forth after. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
They can add on. I mean, you're allowed to take off things on your pre-sentence, your pre-sentence report. That that's where you gotta have the lawyer go over it every time. They're gonna try to add something on there. That's a whole nother debate. But yeah, but you can't take. Oh, well, I'll wait till the next offer. That you're not gonna get that kind of option. What's Brian say? That's nuts. I've been on a year and they had 15 people search my house and give me paperwork. Yeah,
they don't play.
Indicted, Brian, I don't know. He was indicted and then they did the search. A lot of people just get a target letter too. And
yeah, I was waiting for that. I never got that. I was waiting for that. I had hired another lawyer just to represent me if something happened. And then he said, I think it's over with. So he refunded my money. I was waiting for a target letter. I never got anything. And then another year passed and this is what happened. The feds, they don't move fast.
No, they got you, man. I mean, it's a done deal. They want to milk their paychecks too,
Yeah.
And they're lazy. And they want to do it in numbers. We'll wait till we get 20 people and we'll go out to his house. He's not going nowhere with facial recognition now and everything else. Yeah. Brian never been fingerprinted. And but he's up there in bumfuck Alaska. He's it takes a private plane to get. I think there's an ice. Is there an ice freeway, Brian, to get there? But it's not hard to get. It's not easy to get to where he's at. But how you feeling though, Anthony, after coming on the show today? Is this helping? Is this annoying more now? You reminded more?
No, the commissary thing pisses me off because I didn't know they would take that much, but it's the same.
There's basically they take about 35% of whatever you get in there. But they won't do it at first. They'll wait 2-3 months go by and now you got 500 and they take the lump sum because they're slow again. So
I guess the thing would be have your people send you like $100 every 2 weeks or something, and not a chunk.
Yeah, because they go off like 25% plus a certain amount. There's an equation we used to use. I can't remember. If anybody knows the equation for restitution while you're in a federal prison, how they take that out of your account. 25% plus $10 for every 100 something. I don't know. And they do that monthly, and they won't do it till you've been there 4, 5, 6 months, and then they come on. Well, you owe us $3,200 because we haven't started taking it yet. And
Yeah. Yep.
Harris, do you think I can get my passport back to go outside the country and come back once you're out? Yeah. I know my buddy Alex. He's he was a Russian citizen with American paperwork, and he was on probation. He's off now. They let him go to Tijuana just for the weekend, more than once, when he was on probation, depending on your probation officer. Yeah. You don't need I don't think you need a passport to go to Tijuana, but I know the guy took a cruise. It depends. If you owe restitution, they don't like you leaving the country. So if the restitution's paid off, chances are more likely you can leave the country.
Yep.
Brian, you have $360 a month. Don't go over that. $160 every 2 weeks. Yeah, so you can only spend so much at commissary, but emails cost money. That doesn't go into your commissary money.
So what is Brian saying? That they won't take it if it's under $360 a month?
No, you can have $360 a month. Don't go over. That's $160. You can have $360 a month to spend on commissary, but you could spend another $100 on emails if you're going to constantly be writing in back and forth emails. Yeah, it's 10 cents a minute. There used to be phone money. What else?
Oh, he's saying don't go over the spending limit and use it all when you use it. Okay.
Oh yeah, don't try to save money unless when you have a restitution, because that's what happened to me. I was putting $50 away every month. I got up to 1,100. I go because I was getting my startup money when I got out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they came at me after like 8 months and grabbed it all.
Yeah. Yeah. You should be using that as a bank account anyway, I guess,
Well, if you don't have a restitution, I know guys have $10,000, $20,000 in there, and it's there. I know guys are paying their house payments and everything from prison. Your case manager will actually print you up a check, right? A printed check from and give you you buy the envelopes and you can pay your bills. You can maintain your household, but that's the guys who don't have restitution,
right?
Or they have enough money where everything's being paid for.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see for sure.
That's what I'm praying for.
Yeah. Anybody else have some advice out there for Anthony? I'm sure he'd love to hear it. This video will become a rerun owned by YouTube after, and there'll be comments underneath, and people leave comments, month after month, and so might want to check it every once in a while. People might want to ask you a question.
So we'll see, Sean. I mean, for everything that I'm hearing is my judge is very liberal and she's not a guideline sentence judge from what my attorney says. And my attorney is very smart. He actually just got nominated to be a federal judge last week. So he had to sign off of my case. So he knows the federal system. So, I'm hoping, my guidelines are what, 21 months or 22 months? Maybe I get a year and a day.
Ask him how he feels about if you ask to do your time at the halfway house. If it's like under 18 months, that way you can go home for the weekends probably and work during the week.
He said he was going to try and craft some sentence about, he didn't want to be ridiculous because they don't like it when they everybody asks for probation. He's like,
not ask for probation. Don't ask for probation.
So
that's the B word. Don't use it, especially to a female judge.
He said,
no pun intended.
He said he's going to maybe ask for home confinement or 6 months and then home confinement for the other 6 months or something like that. So
okay. So he's aware. Okay.
Yeah, he said they generally don't like to sentence just a halfway house. Yeah,
they will if for a DUI in a like a federal park and you're driving too drunk, maybe. For yours, yeah, he's kind of right. So. But and then did the lawyer look at the letter yet? Yeah, he said it was excellent. I'm going to actually have my son talk to you because he's going to have you help him with his character reference letter. There you go. I love working with family members to get that perfect letter. It's never there's no such thing as a perfect letter, but that's what we do anyways. We write the perfect letter, don't we? Yep. So if I tell you, Sean, if they said to me, you can go on May 23rd, I would go on May 23rd, but I'm not going to be shackled up in a detention center somewhere for 6 months. Do not turn yourself into the marshals and wait to get to no, you want to self-surrender. Even if it's Alaska, find your way there. It's much better than sitting in a jail. It could be a year before you even get to your designation sometimes. Yeah, I could be out before they exactly. That's happened too. Yeah. See, Brian says don't go spending do you have any medical reasons or medical conditions? Anthony? No, other than I take medicine for my my depression. No, I'm pretty healthy. I've had a couple back surgeries, which I told them in my PSI report. My back is okay, but I can't go out there shoveling for 9 hours because my back will kill me. But they'll work with you on that. They'll give you, it's called a sedimentary job. You might roll silverware with napkins and silverware or something like that. The sit down job. They have. I had a hernia and they had me do spice patrol. So basically salt, pepper, creamers, all this stuff. We make little baggies up. And that went over to the Supermax. They called it Spice Patrol or something. It was a sit-down job. They'll work with you. They might give you something in education, small business management. You'd be surprised. I know. That's the scariest thing because, I've always been either a district manager or a retail manager my whole life since I was 25 years old, and I'm 49 now, 48. But thinking about what I'll do when I get out, and you hear everybody say, I can't find a job, I can't this. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's bullshit. I get 80 people I found jobs for, over 80 in the last 2 years here that come out of the federal prison. Bullshit. Yeah. Good.
Good.
I work for Wings for Life. I'm still there part-time. Now I'm working for the city, and I get to find more people jobs. Bullshit. And I don't mean a job at Burger King. I got them enough jobs, a decent living wage job. Okay.
So I'll maybe have to hook up with you when I get out to help me.
Yeah, hey, I will. I got connections in different states at, corporations and stuff. I'll make the phone calls. I can make it happen. Hey, let me tell you a little quick story. Yesterday, I'm sitting there, and for some reason, I'm thinking about my old probation officer, right? I'm at my lunch, and I thought, I'm going to give her a call because sometimes they need to hear a success story, right? I called her up, and I just wanted to tell her I went on to get my CPSW certificate. She told me something about getting that one day, and then I told her now I just got hired on, and with the city, I'm actually a government employee like you now, and I just want to give you a success story. And I got into more detail, but she said, Sean, your phone call could not have come at a better time. I've been sitting here for the last hour contemplating whether to quit my job right now.
Wow.
Yeah, she says, day in and day out, they got to send people back. It's like they won't stop robbing the bank. I gave you a break here, dirty drug tests, all that, and it was taking a toll on her. And she said, your phone call could not come at a better time. And we went on to a little more, and I actually gave her some advice that she was very welcome to hear. And I told her, don't give up on us either. I mean, the 16 people, they're going to burn you, but that 17th person, man, I told her, I didn't get assigned to you in New Mexico because there's some hardcore ones out there, I told her, and they wouldn't let me do what I do. And we had a person, their probation officer wouldn't let them work for Wings for Life because they don't want them associating with other felons. I said, I could have got that one, and I would have never had this opportunity. So I said, don't give up. And she said, I'm not going to quit today.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? So we can make a difference in a probation officer's life. So
that's something I wanted to ask you, Sean. So when I get out probation, everybody's talking about urines. Do you think that they'll make me do urines? Even though my crime was
maybe at first, some people don't ever have to take them, but they will your first check-in day. It's kind of just the norm.
Yeah.
But, it just depends on your history, regardless of what you're charged for. But if you have some history on paper, like if you take RDAP, they're going to drug test you. Yeah,
I never had any type of history with drugs or alcohol.
You probably won't, and you probably have where you can drink, but not to excess.
Yeah, that's part of my pretrial right now. Don't overdrink alcohol.
And who's the judge of that? I don't know if they have an alcohol judge, but
yeah, I haven't been in the position to drink a drink, so.
But Anthony, I was 50 years old when I finally went in. To surrender that day to prison, man. Don't give up. Don't let your dreams. Don't let felony stop you. Don't let what people say about you. Don't let whatever label society wants to put on you. If it says ketchup and it's mustard inside, pull that damn label off and shove it back in their face.
Oh, these reporters too. What they write in the internet about you, it's just horrible.
I told you I tried to track the one down on the road about me. They wouldn't let me talk to him. I just want to say my side. Where'd you get your facts? Because you didn't get them from me.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing you were right about, Sean, now that you said it, I watch your show a lot, and it's been a hell of a help, let me tell you. Even the people on there, it's just great, and you're a great guy too. But
thank you.
You had said you'll find out who really is your friend and who really is there for you. And let me tell you, it's been eye-opening. And for people that are listening, those people that stay with you, those are worth their weight in gold. And the people that go, it's a gift because you really know who's there, because true people are supposed to be there for you and they're not supposed to judge you. Even though, you do what you do, but it's true. You really find out who is in your corner.
And unfortunately, some of those people are family members, like maybe a cousin, an aunt, usually not the immediate family. Your kids will probably never, do that to you, although they're going to hate you for a while. But you'll find you're absolutely right, Antony.
Let me tell you, Sean, I called my sister after this happened, and she blocked me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Wow.
She blocked me, and it was one of the most hardest things I've ever had to deal with.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Anthony. And one day they might forgive you, but then in my mind, like, how dare you not? Now you forgive me? I never even. I don't get me started.
That's the thing, Sean, that was really bothered me the most is because when I went in to be arraigned, if you say, there was a person in there that had just gotten out of trial, and he had hit somebody as a drunk driver and they charged him with manslaughter or whatever. And his family was just, don't judge him. He's a good person. They were all sticking by them. You know, it was a family. They were sticking up for him. And to think, you know, something, not to say what I did wasn't bad, but I didn't kill anybody. I didn't rape a kid. I'm not a chomo. And to have somebody, you know, block you at a time of need like that, it's just, people don't realize how bad that affects people, you know?
Sure does. My whole mother's side of the family they don't want nothing to do with me, you know, nothing.
Yeah.
Although one cousin did come on my show actually in the chat room and got me breaking down crying. She said she was proud of me and all that. And so slowly people, I guess, you know, will come back into your life. And then now, do I want them back in my life after
that's the thing.
abandoned me for 10 years? Now all of a sudden you're God and you forgive me. I mean, but then maybe I don't want to do. Maybe just I'll welcome them back.
Yeah.
Some people. So don't throw your sister to the wind yet.
Yeah.
Maybe look at her side of the view, but also at the same time, your own sister. God, that's gotta hurt, man.
I know. He put something in there. I think it was Brian about something in my PSR. I don't know what it said.
Is it on your PSR? The probation terms are at the end of. It might say that you're going to get 3 years probation or something, or maybe he's talking about the drinking part. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't have anything in my PSR about alcohol or drugs.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people don't want to put it in there because they don't want more charges. But if you're going to get the RDAP and the time off, you got to put it in there, and they're going to drug test you every day. I mean, you know, as much as they can.
Right.
In your case, I don't think they will. They'll just do it when you first get out. Halfway houses do it all the time, they don't care what your charge is. They drug test everybody.
Yeah.
Like every week, at least once a week.
Yeah. If my sentence is a year and a day, I'm probably, and I don't want to say this, I just don't want to go to the halfway house. I'm just going to.
No, I don't blame them. They're not all, I don't even know if you've checked out your local one to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Some are really bad and some aren't.
Yep. Yep.
They're all run by 2 or 3 different organizations. Geo Group is one. Dearson Charities out here. They have like, I think I sent you the list, or was it somebody?
Yeah.
80 different ones or something.
Now they won't take your good time away if you don't want to go to the halfway house, right?
No, they won't. No.
Good. Good.
No. A cell phone will take that away.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it. Especially if they're giving you free minutes. If they're giving you free minutes, who cares?
It's still going on, as far as I heard. They've been talking about maybe stopping it at the end of the year, but I think they're going to keep it. Yeah.
So that's good.
Well, anything else you want to talk about, Anthony, or you want to wrap it up? What's going on?
Let's see. The terms about testing are in there. Yeah. There was nothing in there about testing.
That's good. And then he says, on mine, at least.
At least. Yeah, I'm good, Sean. I appreciate the time, and
I hope this helps, because now you're not going alone.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, all this that you've been, it's out there now for this YouTube where you're going to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe, there's a couple people on here earlier asking questions. These videos, like you said, you watch mine, so this will help the next guy, but it's going to help you inside, because now you're not going through it alone. There are people that saw this, and they're with you, man.
Yep. No, and I appreciate that. It's like a family, but it's a dysfunctional family, but it's like a family.
Yeah.
So someone said to me the other day, I'd never judge you. We're all one bad decision away from going to prison. So, it's all we can do.
And we're all about 2 paychecks away from being homeless.
Yep.
If you want to find out your true friends, so lose your job, let a month or 2 go by. Now you don't have the rent. You got 2 kids. Are they gonna take you in and let you move in there and feed you until you find a job? And and then you're out on the streets, and two paychecks away from being homeless. Most people.
Yep.
And then you find out who your true friends are too.
Exactly.
A lot of times they'll help somebody out of prison, but you're homeless now. I'm not helping you.
Right.
I don't know which one's worse, but
yeah. All right. Well, if that other person has anything about Danbury that we didn't see, let me know.
Okay. Brian said, come on Wednesday night, Anthony, because we're doing this kind of anybody. We've done it for a month now. Open mic Wednesday, open call Wednesday. So
I'm good. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can do it on Wednesday nights. It's
Okay.
actually great.
Yeah, I think we're doing Brian, at 7 o'clock is what we were doing, I think. It's kind of what it's been. But I'll send you a link. I'll include you. And I just put up the stream. Anybody on the show, anybody watching could come on. We're just doing a, YouTube streets kind of thing.
Yep. All right.
All right, man. God bless you, Anthony. Keep in touch. And we're going to go over a checklist before you get sentenced of things to prepare for, what you need. And when you, and don't forget, have your lawyer ask to self-surrender and ask for your designation and request where you want to go. Have that ready before sentencing day, amongst a few other things. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in touch because I'm going to have you do my son's thing. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. God bless everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Hit the like button, subscribe. It don't cost you no money. Just hit the subscribe. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.